Hey friends, welcome to our midweek moment. Pastor Nicole here. So glad you clicked on. Nice to be back with you after a couple of weeks away. My family was able to get out of town for a little bit over the past couple of weeks, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about it today, to just share a little bit about my experience. We went to South Dakota for vacation this year. I took a little road trip out there to see all the different things that you can see. And I had been through South Dakota before, kind of on the way to Yellowstone, but hadn't really just kind of camped out in South Dakota. And we were able to see so many incredible things while we were there. The rock formations and the Badlands and the different kind of rock formations in Custer State Park. We saw Devil's Tower in Wyoming. And I was just blown away by this part of creation. At times it felt like we were just in a completely different world, like even just like a different time period, right? Like it seemed like a little like Jurassic at some points. But it was incredible. And I was sitting looking over the Badlands one day, and I said to the kids, I said, what do you think God was thinking when God created this? And we just kind of sat and talked a little bit about that, about what was God thinking. And I kind of landed on that I thought God would just be saying, oh, I can't wait for them to see this. I just can't wait for them to see this. And I really just spent some time reflecting on Genesis 1 and 2, the creation story. You know, sometimes we read through that so quickly, oh, God created the heavens and the earth, and God created land and water and the planets, and we just kind of, move through it so quick. And sometimes I think we forget to really stop and think about what kind of work and creativity went into each of those pieces of creation. And, when we were out there, we learned a lot about kind of how these amazing structures were formed, and, magma and being pushed to the surface, and all of those things. And I just sat there in awe of how creative our God is, of how caring and loving our God is, that God would take the time to create these incredible things for us to see and experience, because God loves us, and God wanted to give us these wonderful things that reflect His glory in the world, right? So I just was so grateful to have the opportunity to not only, take a little break and get away with my family and spend time with them, but then to just bask in the gloriousness, is that a word? The beauty of this piece of creation that we were able to see. And it got me thinking about, I'm one of those people, I love to be out in nature. I love the ocean. I love to just be by running water. That is a powerful tie to the divine for me. And I just wanted to encourage you to take some time this week to find yourself out in nature. Maybe you won't be able to go to South Dakota this week to see some of those things, but I just wanted you to have the opportunity to be outside and to connect with nature. I think there is a strong tie between being in nature and God, because when we see the beauty of the things that God has created, it helps us to draw closer to God. So maybe it's just looking at some beautiful flowers that are so, just bursting with color. Or maybe it's watching a little frog hop along your porch, or even to see a praying mantis grow over the weeks. There's just something about nature inherently that pulls us closer to God, that reminds us of God's vast creativity and the care that God put into creation, and that if God cares for a sparrow, right, that God cares even so much more for us. And it can really be a powerful experience. And sometimes I think we get so busy with our lives that we forget to just take some time to be outside. I don't know where you are, but it's been pretty lovely where I am. It's not been too hot or humid. Last night was just a really lovely evening to be outside. And so even if it's just to sit in your backyard for a moment, if it's to go take a walk in a park somewhere, whatever it might be, I'd encourage you to just take some time to get out in nature and to see the glory of God reflected before you, and to just take some time to bask in that. I think it'll help you pull closer to God and to just grow closer in your relationship to God. So take some time to do that this week, and I hope we'll see you this weekend as we continue on in our sermon series. Tell me the stories of Jesus. We're going to be looking at a story of Jesus and the kids this weekend. So whether you're joining us in person or online, I hope to see you there. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.